Did you hear about the ADHD? No. What is the ADHD? The ADHD is the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. What is the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder? The attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is a clinical phenomenon, a modern-day epidemic of incredible proportions. What does that mean? It means that the past decade has witnessed a remarkably steep increase in the numbers of children diagnosed with ADHD. What does that mean? It means that we are drugging more and more kids with the amphetamine called Ritalin. But didn't the George W. Bush say that there was a war on drugs in the schools? Yes, he did, but feeding the Ritalin is good for the kids. Apparently it is not like the pot. Oh. Why do we feed the kids the Ritalin? Because the Ritalin is good for kids with the ADHD. Why? What does the Ritalin do to the kids with the ADHD? The Ritalin basically turn the kids into well-behaved little zombies so that they can do the learning. I see. How many of the kids have the ADHD? In the USA, figures suggest that nearly 1 out of every 4 of the kids has the ADHD. Is that a lot? Yes. That is a lot. What is causing so many of the kids to get the ADHD? Most of the doctors do not know what is causing so many of the kids to get the ADHD. If most of the doctors are unsure about the ADHD, then how do they know for sure that 1 out of 4 of the kids has the ADHD? That is a good question. In fact, according to the Rakalovich 2005, most of the doctors are unsure how to diagnose the ADHD, but there are more and more of the kids diagnosed, you said. If the doctors are unsure, how come there are more and more of the kids with the ADHD? I do not know. However, some of the shit disturbers believe that there might be something more sinister about the ADHD. Oh. Really, what do the shit disturbers think is really going on with the ADHD? Well, some think that the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual used to diagnose the ADHD has been problematically expanded to include more and more diagnostic categories. What are some of the diagnostic categories that the teachers and the doctors are taught to think might be because of the ADHD? The child will often fail to give close attention to details. The child will have difficulty sustaining attention in tasks or play activities. The child will often not follow through in the instructions or do the homework. The child will often avoid, dislike, or be reluctant to engage in the tasks that require sustained mental effort, such as the schoolwork or the homework. The child will often lose things like their pencil. The child is often distracted by stimuli. The child often fidgets with their hands or their feet. The child often runs. The child often climbs. The child often talks. La 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 la. Are you going to say something? Oh, I'm sorry. I was distracted by your teaching me that very long list of ADHD diagnostic categories. I guess I was bored. Do you have the ADHD? I do not think so. Are children not naturally distractible and impulsive creatures? Yes. I think that they are. But the Diagnostic and Statistics Manual thinks that 1 out of 4 of the children are actually naturally distractible and impulsive ADHD creatures. Especially the boy children. This all seems a little strange. Are there problems with the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual? Is the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual always right? I ask because the Diagnostic and Statistics Manual sounds very official and legitimate. Yes. There are problems with the manual. In fact, the gay people used to be considered sick by the Diagnostic and Statistics Manual. They were told that they had a sociopathic personality disturbance. That seems really ignorant. Yes, it was really ignorant because now we know that there is nothing wrong with the gay people and that they can lead productive and healthy lives. So are you saying that the Diagnostic and Statistics Manual is subjective? I think that I am. I think that I might believe in the sociocultural theory that tells us judgments about what is or is not considered disordered behavior change according to the view of the day. Are you telling me that many of the things that are considered to be disordered behaviors exist only because we invent them? Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. This process is often called medicalization. What is medicalization? Medicalization is a sociological process by which non-medical problems become defined and treated as medical problems and disorders. So ADHD might be reflective of this process you call medicalization? Yes. According to the Conrad, teachers and parents have been socialized into a working clinical knowledge of the ADHD. How did this happen? The pharmaceutical companies played a large role in this. How? The pharmaceutical companies have for decades been funding the ADHD research and the information about the ADHD that reaches the teachers, the parents, the family doctors, and the Oprah Winfrey Show. Drug company wisdom has become the accepted wisdom. Do the drug companies make money off of this? Yes, Adhd. The drug companies try to make a lot of money off of this. You mean that the people who make the money from selling the drugs for the ADHD often provide the funding for the research and information that reaches the parents, teachers, and doctors and the Oprah about the ADHD and the treatment for the ADHD? Yes. Oh, is this not a conflict of interest? Apparently not. Holy shit. Holy shit is right. The Peter Breggin said that nothing measures a society better than how it treats its children. Well, if the Peter Breggin is right, it would seem that we are in trouble. Yes, but there is hope. Critical educators and other concerned persons are beginning to seriously question the epidemic of the ADHD. How so? They are beginning to more actively point out that medical knowledge is not absolute knowledge. The current state of affairs is a result of the human decisions and the human institutions. These decisions can be modified, and the institutions can be changed. If necessary, they can be dismantled and replaced, just as people have been doing throughout the course of history. Okay, so while the Ritalin generation might be able to sit still in class, they might also be losing their ability to be creative in their authentic selves, and you think that we need to work hard to change that? Yes, I do. I think that we need to listen to the Davis 2004 when he tells us that learning should be understood as opening up new spaces of possibility for each and every one of the diverse children. Learning is a matter of structural change of the learner, which, while conditioned by particular circumstances, is suited to the learner's own complex structure. Wow! That sounds really good to me. How did you come to these conclusions? It is all the Dr. Graves' fault. I see. Have you ever heard of the restless leg syndrome? Oh boy.